you.
You're welcome. All right.
Attention passengers, this is a reminder that the Take Flight podcast will begin boarding in 20 minutes. Please gather your thoughts, secure your mindset, and prepare for elevation.
Welcome to the Take Flight podcast, where self-care is your passport, self-love is your carry-on, and purpose is your destination. We're your hosts. I'm Paris.
And this your boy, Spee. And man, we have an episode for you. I hope that y'all checked out the last episode when we were talking about setting up a system for your goals. But to this podcast, we're going to go into like the steps of it, and we're going to do that probably for the next few episodes. We're going to break down each step because we really want y'all to be ready for this upcoming year.
Yes.
Today, we're going to talk about rebranding yourself, and for me, when it means to rebrand yourself, it means to, the main word in rebrand, put a brand on it. Right. And that means to find out who you are and what you are doing. Right.
Yes.
For me, let me give you an example. People know me as a person that does everything. Right. And that kind of gets confusing over time. And, people like, what's that one saying when they be like, jack of all trades, but a master of none. Right. And that kind of bothers me. That kind of hits me where it hurts, but it kind of makes sense. Like when you start to focus on one thing or one brand, you actually do grow in it. So for me, it's photography, right? And do you have a brand of your own where you starting to see people are trying to put you in that category, or you putting yourself in that category?
I would say it's pets. Really just surrounding myself with the love of pets and my pet products, and people are starting to look at me as that creative individual who just is able to do things, whatever I put my mind to, and just create whatever. So
I dig it. You know what I'm saying? See how we're able to know mine's photography, hers is pets. So today we're really definitely going to go into it, and, we're going to break down the steps. First is rebranding.
yes.
And for me, it's like when you establish your brand, it's like that is your identity. That's who people know you as, right? I remember I was just literally just out this weekend. People was like, "Oh, my favorite photographer," right? And I'm like, that hit home for me because people know me as a photographer. They don't really know me as, Spee, as a friend or whatever. They know me as what I do for my business. So it's very important to establish yourself. And what I would say is within that brand, because there's a lot of people in that brand, what are you good for in that brand? Like for me, I'm not just a photographer. I actually dance,
You dance?
Yeah.
What kind of dance? You be jitting?
Man, every dance they got, because I'm a club photographer. So any song that go on, I gotta go to the bathroom periodically to get the sweat off me, because it'd be really like that, and people enjoy that. I'm not just taking pictures, but I'm also interacting with them, getting them hyped up when the crowd might not even be hyped, but now they hyped because of me. So it's very important.
I think too, that's why you're always booked, because they know you the vibe and that you're going to get people active, involved, and really participating in the event that's taking place. On top of, you got them posing for photos, they looking good, they feeling sexy. You help people feel confident in what you do.
Right. And that's the main point of everything. Like once you rebrand yourself, then you got to figure out what makes you stand out from the rest of the crowd? Because there might be a photographer in a club, but they're not dancing with everybody, you know. It even goes into like things like when you edit it. I know there's one editor. He every time he edits, he always edits in like it kind of gives a grainy feel. Everything you do is very very grainy, and it's like, but it's his style. And you go down his page, and you know
You can tell the difference.
he's good at it. He's good at that style, even though it's grainy. I like clear, colorful pictures. He like grainy, wash pictures.
So how long have you been doing photography?
I've been doing photography. Well, I'm 29. I've probably been doing it since 16,
Okay.
15.
And my question too for you is, so over the years of your photography, I'm sure you experienced growth. And within that growth, what would you say really helped you elevate to a new level each year? Do you feel like your mindset stayed the same? Did you have to change certain things? Like, what did you do differently to get to where you are today?
Stay consistent.
Okay.
I just stayed consistent. And I loved it. I think, and that's something I definitely wrote down was I loved it. If you don't love it, it's pointless. And when you start to
Yeah.
love it, you get better and better. And then people start to acknowledge you as that. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I just stuck to it. I don't know. I just needed, I'm a very like by myself type of person. So it was like, I do music,
Mm-hmm.
but I need videos.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't got the funds for the videos. But I'm also smart enough to make my own video. So I'm just gonna do it myself. And then you learn how to do everything from doing it yourself, and boom, you blowing up.
Facts.
As far as you though, when it comes to, you said the pets, and I've been seeing you doing your thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm over here like, dang, she really like look like that top notch Etsy. Etsy's too small for the type of stuff she's doing. And I'm like, I mean, you got pets. I don't like pets, so this is a little different. But like, what do you think? What made you get into that as something that you want to do as your personal business or something like that?
I would say I've always been a pet lover. I've always owned dogs. And over time, from my love of dogs, I went into dog breeding. And from that, I just loved it. I loved just the growth of dogs, seeing them from the puppy stage, being able to give them the love and teaching them tricks, because animals have to be trained in order to be a well-functioning pet and listen and do what it's supposed to do. And I really just enjoyed the process of preparing the puppy to getting it to its new owner so it can continue that love and affection. And from there, I remember just having a conversation with my mom, because I've always wanted to have a business of my own, but I wanted to make sure that that business was something I actually was going to enjoy, love doing, because when you love doing something, it don't feel like work. It just feels like it's part of your calling, part of your purpose, and it's just like a part of your happy place. And I just remember having a conversation with my mom, and she was like, why don't you get into doing something revolving animals since you love them so much? And literally from that conversation, I just did some research, found some products that help really sell a luxury brand, because I feel like I'm a luxurious type of individual. And I literally popped off my Etsy in weeks since then. And literally, I just hit my 1 year anniversary. And like you said, really all it was just me being consistent, me really doing the research of what others were doing. And I realized like the product I was selling was similar to other people's, but I was able to put a spin on it so that even though I'm on Etsy with all these thousands of other sellers, my product still stands out. And what I really enjoy being on that platform is that I'm not doing any marketing. Etsy really brings in the customers for me. And really all I just focused on was my branding. And that's what made me realize how important branding is, so that people can understand who I am, what I'm selling, and make them want to come back to purchase from me again. And I'm always getting repeat customers. And I get a lot of reviews telling me, branding really stood out to me, and branding really is what differentiate you from other companies, from other people. So that really helped me understand not only branding from a business standpoint, but branding who I need to be as an individual. Because in order for my business to be successful, I have to show up as a person of authority, of discipline, of knowing who I am to be able to present the information, and people can follow along.
And then, people got they dogs, and once they have their dogs, then they can be like, "Oh, girl, where you get this?" "Oh, I got it from Etsy." And then they can, when you're specific on who you are on Etsy, they can always come to your profile to order what they want.
Right. And then also too, what I'm learning as far as marketing, people want to buy from people. They don't want to buy from a business. It's always important for you to showcase who you are, being authentic and telling a story so people can understand and connect with you, because people want to trust who you are in order to purchase from you, in order to support you. So it's always important to know who you are so people can have something to connect with, and being authentic and really presenting yourself in a way where it's truthful, so that every time you do post or you are talking to people, you're always delivering that same message. People always see you for who you really are versus who you're pretending to be.
Right. And that's important. That stuff is very important. I was trying to tell you about that last time we was starting the podcast. We got to take flight. You know what I'm saying? We battling out here. So, there's a few other take flights, but y'all gonna follow our take flight, right?
Of course.
Because we love y'all already. You know what I'm saying? So the other people, they don't like y'all like that, but we love y'all already. So I think, finding out who you are is very important. And then,
so I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to your mindset, what differences or what habits did you have to break to be able to be the successful photographer you are today? Because you stay booked and busy, and I know when you're starting off, you're starting off trying to get your foot in the door, people to know who you are so that you can get the business, you can be at these events. And for you not to be booked, I'm sure you had to do things a certain way in order to get to where you are today. So what did you do differently?
I said it this weekend, right after I left that event that I was at, was entrepreneurship and introvert don't go together. It's an oxymoron. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to go talk to people. Like, you have to just get out there. They got to know you for who you are. Like, people remember my name, but I don't remember their name. And I kind of feel bad about that. I be trying to remember everybody's name. But they remember me because I put something that is good out for them. So that's why I'm able to get in these people's spaces. I'm consistent. I don't even do nothing different. I just do the same thing. I pass out business cards, take pictures, and tell them who I am.
Okay.
That's it. And they be like, "Oh, you're good." I'm fast with it. I'm very quick with what I do. Like, that's what, when it comes to your brand, what are you good at? Like, for you and your dog or your pet thing, you could be like, because you can look at the reviews, right? Mm-hmm. They shipped it out fast. I got it in 2 days. I got it in 2-3 days.
Like Prime.
Easy, you know what I'm saying? Compared to I got it in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, I'm literally giving them picture in 1 minute. I said, every time it's almost like a routine. All right, now give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna have your picture to you. Mm-hmm.
See, that's what sets you apart from other photographers. And that's key. And that's great that you were able to differentiate yourself and figure out a way to stand yourself out with a service that's different from others.
Right. Because I already know what they, and me, man, I usually get paid for the events that I go to. Mm-hmm. So I don't really charge a person if they want a picture. You know what I'm saying? Unless they tip me if they want to, that's fine. But every other photographer, they charging
Mm-hmm.
$20, $10. I'm like, bro, first of all, y'all picture ain't better than mine, so we might as well get that out of the way. But it's like people are willing to spend money on you the second time around.
Right.
Like, okay, I know what he can do
It's that trust.
because yeah, they trust me now. Okay, he can deliver. Now I do want to spend some money on him. So that'd be the biggest thing today. So it's just really getting that trust. People, if you ain't got no bad reviews, I never got my dog or my pet thing, then that's gonna make you look real bad on there.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's why I would say what I've learned, and just for me to be able to hit my 1 year successfully and continuing to see growth, what has helped me was really just changing my mindset, because I really was focusing on like 9 to 5 life, really just corporate America. And I realized in order for my business to grow and to be established, I have to start thinking more like an entrepreneur, even though I'm a corporate baddie. And I felt as though by establishing where I want to go, ultimately what I see my brand as and how I want to be approached and how I want to be seen in the future, helped me establish how I need to show up now. And that really includes waking up early. A lot of times I was even coming home on my lunch breaks to fulfill orders and really just pushing my business out there further than my 9 to 5 life, because ultimately I know that a full-time entrepreneur is the life that I want to live, and I want my customers to understand and believe that this is the only thing that I'm pushing, meaning my products are shipping out on time, if not early. I'm always providing the best quality, and just really branding myself in a way that as my business grows, as I have my website launched, people already trust me. They already bought from me, so that they will continue to want to understand more about my brand and understand who I am as an owner, because I built that trust with them.
Right. I dig it, and that comes with part of rebranding.
Yeah.
So.
And then even speaking on it, the next thing I wanted to talk about is self-talk. I will say, that's one of those things when you're starting a business, you can sometimes get into that mode of, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing?
Right.
Dang, I haven't got no orders. Am I doing this right? You start limiting your beliefs and starting to sometimes self-sabotage yourself. And a lot of times people quit because they're not seeing results quick enough. And I've learned with starting a business, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the process. You have to establish processes and routines so that as your systems are building and your customers are increasing, everything is already running smoothly. So with that being said, did you ever go through a phase in the beginning of your photography career where you were having those self-limiting thoughts at all that you had to break?
Nope.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nope. But I know people do. They try to sneak in. I ain't gonna lie, they don't try to sneak in, but I'm like, I always tell myself I'm the best at what I do.
Mm-hmm. That confidence.
I'm the best. I told myself I'm gonna be the biggest videographer, photographer in Arizona, and I stick with that. And that's something I always carry, even with my raps. I used to diss people back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the best rapper in the city, and ain't nobody gonna tell me different. You feel me? And that's the way you gotta live, and then you'll actually get better by that. You'll do the things to help yourself be better. That self-talk is too important. Oh my gosh, it's too important.
Yes, because life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yep.
And honestly, too, how you speak on yourself is how you're going to identify as. So if you are someone who does not have a real relationship with money, then you can't tell yourself you're going to be rich, you're going to attract money when you say, I'm not good with my money. I don't know how to save. I overspend. Money don't attract to me. That's going to become your reality. So it's important, especially with going into the year 2026, that you start speaking life on who you are going to be, and start speaking as if you're already that person, because energy is real, energy is powerful. And if you want to attract greatness, you have to speak greatness over yourself every day, starting soon as you wake up, because what you say in the morning really shapes your day, if you don't believe it or not. But that's really key when it comes to wanting to live in your purpose and really setting the tone for who you're going to show up as each and every day.
I mean, she couldn't have said it any better. Change your mindset, people. You guys doubt yourself. Well, I don't really go out. Well, that's why you don't go out.
That's why you're not going to meet anyone.
Go out, bro. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it's not even that hard. People are just as awkward as you, to be honest with you. People be wanting somebody to talk to, and they happy that you talk to them.
Yeah, I feel like COVID changed the way we interact, and it made us get more in our head versus just dialoguing it out. Now, don't get me wrong. It's great to pause and think before you speak, but at the same time, just knowing that it's okay if you say something wrong. You know what I mean? In the sense of it may not come out grammatically correct, but it's okay. It's just important to just be able to speak and to conversate with others and just interact, because you never know where that conversation is going to take you, or what you will get out of that information that you may receive. Also, too, being thankful. I realize when you wake up with gratitude and you see the good in everything, that you really also attract that greatness back into your life. So really figuring out like affirmations that represent who you are, who you want to become, and speaking that into you every day. Write them down, recite them out loud. Do a voice memo on your phone and just listen to them. I'm starting to get in the habit of really listening more to podcasts and YouTube versus listening to music, because I'm able to really fill my spirit and fill my mind with what it needs to be able to move in a way that's powerful, so that I'm in control and no one can take control of me. It's just important to really know who you want to be and always speaking life into that person.
And I'm gonna be 100 with you. That's probably one of the best tips that has pushed me to be where I am. I wake up with, I love everybody. And when you love everybody, right? When you love people on the level that you can love like your brother and sister, like you can easily go talk to your brother and sister. So I love people on that level where I can just go talk to them like they're my brother and sister, and tell them about what I do like they're my brother and sister. Mm-hmm. And it allows me to have that comfort when I talk to them, Every blue moon, people ask, Sadiddy, I guess, like they too good to talk to you or whatever. But most people want to know what you got to say, and that comes from a positive mindset from waking up. And, and the thing that she talked about was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about was, and the Bible actually talks about this, is, guard your eyes, guard your ears. What are you watching?
Right. What are you listening to?
When I'm at work, I can show y'all my YouTube right now. You will not see a single song on none of my YouTubes.
Also, too, look at your news feed. Look on YouTube, because your news feed and what appears really shows what you're attracting, who you are. And I realized that, especially like on Facebook, when I'm looking at reels and just watching the reels that come into my news feed, I'm like, a lot of it is inspirational. A lot of it like is Steve Harvey doing his motivation and just biblical verses, and it shows me that my mind is getting to a place where it's all about growth. Now, if you are on social media and all that's pulling up is fights and people getting killed and all of those things, you need to reevaluate yourself and what you're looking up, because you're feeding that into your spirit and you're really not going to attract nothing good from that.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. I mean,
going into 2026, let's cut out self-sabotage. Soon as you start hearing yourself saying, I can't, or I'm not good enough, just, nope. We gonna stop it right there and just flip the script and start saying yourself what you're capable of doing or what you are working towards, because it is life changing, and over time you will notice a difference in your steps and how you're actually getting closer to hitting your goals because you're actually speaking them into existence.
Man, that's probably one of the best tips, you know. I think it's very hard for you to just keep watching something over and over again that's like positive and then you don't change from it.
Right.
It's kind of hard for that not to happen. All I watch is sermons, lectures and sermons about God, video stuff. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It'd be about God, or it's about video stuff, or about tattoo stuff, or about business, or about just money, or just mental health. That's all I watch. I can look at my history, So that's probably I probably put that number 2.
Yeah.
After you figure out who you are and you figure out what I would even say your niche is, then you need to watch people that are doing it better than you, that are very successful in this lane. I watch a lot of videographers that got million subscribers, 100K, 300K subscribers, and people are listening to them. They do camera reviews. They know what they're talking about, what camera to get, what gear to get, how to film this and that, settings, and that's all I listen to all day. And that's be like a great next step would be almost like a mentor.
Yes. And then too, what has helped me even elevate to the next level is when I'm watching these videos, a lot of times they're teaching you their method. They're teaching you the way they do it, the way they see it. Now, what you have to do is you need to take that information and say, how can I apply this to my life? How does this fit me? So like, for instance, speaking on videography, if you're watching someone do a certain technique, you can look at it like, okay, I do this when I'm doing such and such A, B, and C, and really taking that technique and applying it to your life. You don't necessarily going to take everything that they do, but a lot of times it could just be stepping stones to open your mind of doing something and processing something differently, because it's all about taking action, right? And it's all about taking action in a way that's going to fit your life, because that's the only way it's going to work. And it's important to just not watch these videos to just watch them, but to watch them in a way where you're going to take something out there to process for yourself, giving yourself action items, giving yourself tasks of what you're going to do next based off the information you listen to, so you can level up your life, because they're not going to hold your hand and they're not going to tell you every single step that applies to you. Only you will know that. And you have to be able to do the inner work to get there. Yep.
And she hit it right on the nose. There's things I do struggle with, as far as I take in so much information and I don't do anything.
That information overload can be insane.
It's a gift and a curse. Why? It can be a gift because now that I am taking the steps, I know so much, but I'm behind. And I probably would have reached that goal if I would have just did. But I do know a lot more now. So now my work is a lot more polished than it could have been before. Because it can be a problem when you jump into things too soon. Like, say, like, I'm a tattoo artist. You jump into that too soon without the proper training, you mess up a lot of people.
Right.
And then
you can't take back a tattoo.
You can't take that back. And now you're losing clients. The word gets around town. Ain't nobody finna come, when you could have just took the time to learn,
and brand yourself as the tattoo artist that take their time, that does the best work, because that branding and what you're going to stand for is what's going to bring people coming back, especially if it represents who you really are.
Right.
So my next topic that I want to talk about is discipline over motivation. So what do you feel is important when it comes to setting discipline to help you stay focused when motivation fades?
My number one thing is when you have fun with it. When you have fun with it, it's not even discipline anymore, right? It's kind of like second nature.
Yeah.
some people, it might not be fun at first, so therefore you do need the discipline, and then it eventually, like the gym, like that first month, it might be like the hardest time ever. Oh, I gotta get up and do that. But after that first month, it's like fun. You do this now, And so I think that'd probably be the best thing is try to always look for the fun in things. Because discipline sounds so
Like a punishment.
punishment. It sounds very punishment. You don't want things to be a punishment, especially if it's something that's going to be your long time career, long term goals. Don't hurt yourself. Don't be miserable doing it.
Right. At all. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Spee. When it comes to having a why and having that positivity, it makes what you're doing fun. It don't feel like work. It makes you feel you're aligned with what you're supposed to be doing, and that what you're doing in that moment is actually setting a tone for your future. I know that there's times where I'm tired more than usual, but I don't use that to stop me from what I need to get accomplished. So like, for instance, it may be a day where I don't really feel like going to the gym, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit in the bed and I'm gonna make out my gym routine for the next week. I'm gonna pick out my gym schedule. I'm gonna look up the meals that I'm going to be making. So there's ways to pivot where you're still in the place of what you're trying to do, but in different avenues that make sense for that time being. Because we're not perfect. We have to take breaks. We have to rest, but we also have to be honest with ourselves and stay on course of what we're trying to do. And I even had to tell myself, like I had to put naps into my schedule because I would feel guilty taking a nap because I'm taking time away from doing my business and doing everything that I needed to do to get accomplished. But I realized that it's okay to take a nap because now I am filling my energy tank back up so that I can move the way I need to move and get things done. So it's important to give yourself grace and to acknowledge when your tank is running down, because it's life. It's going to happen. But knowing the ways to build yourself back up so that you can continue to level up in life, because 2026 is about leveling up, doing things differently, and taking the things that did work and building on those systems for the new year.
She said it best, Man, that'll be the catalyst. That's like another catalyst to your brand. Is discipline.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that make brands, but guess what? The brands get forgotten because they ain't disciplined.
Right.
They don't post. They don't stick to it. And then it's like, who are you? What brand are you? I ain't never heard of you. So that's definitely very, very important.
Yeah. Discipline is like the foundation. When you build a house, in order for a house to stand strong, you have to have a balance, a place where everything is built on top of. And in order for that foundation to really to stand strong, you have to know what's going to sustain everything that's going to be built on top of it. So really figuring that part out, and discipline, systems, authenticity, and really just taking the time out really plays a big factor into that.
Yeah.
Lastly, I know we're really getting to that point, but I really wanted to talk on faith and trust when it comes to your mindset. How do you feel about that? Especially when it comes to, not being able to see how things are going to pan out. How do you really set yourself in and who you are to be able to sustain the unknown?
I'm going to go back to what I said last time. When it's fun, whatever faith you got in it, it's just that it always stays strong because it's fun and it's who you are. That's why we talk about when your purpose, and when we talk about when you do things that are for your purpose, it doesn't need a result or this type of outward expression from it, because it's going to come. If it's your purpose, it's going to come. It might just be a compliment. It might be money. It might be a deal. It might be it come in different. Your compliments come in different forms, and so, as a person, I've been rapping for a long time, and sometimes I feel like I want to lose faith, but it's like this is what I'm gonna do. I never give up that one. It only takes one song in the right moment and the right people at the right time, and it's gonna click.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm happy for what I got now. People acknowledge me. It's not like I'm not on top of the world. I don't even think I even want to be on that stage. Like, so I acknowledge where I'm at and love where you at.
Facts. I would say too, like just in my process of my entrepreneurship journey and trying to figure out what business I wanted to have for myself, I realized that delays are just preparation for what is set to come. A lot of times in that time period, God is shaping you to be ready for that vision. So when the vision comes to you, because your purpose is already in you, it's just waiting for that time for you to realize what it is that you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for it mentally, spiritually, physically. Because if not, it's going to crush you and you're not going to be able to sustain what it is that you're trying to have. And in my journey of starting my pet boutique business, it took for me to understand having to allocate funds a certain way, being able to get myself out my comfort zone, because believe it or not, I am an introvert, but getting myself more extrovert based and being able to talk and network with other people. It also took for me to be able to understand the systems and the processes that I needed to create and the discipline that I needed to have within me to even have something of my own. So it's always important to understand that delays are actually good for you, and you can't allow delays to stop you to think that it's not meant for you, because a lot of times delays is just shaping and molding you for what is to come. And same thing with rejections. I learned that rejection is just a redirection to where you're supposed to go. So always have faith in what is meant to be, because the steps are all sometimes just going to open itself up one pace at a time. It's not always going to be revealed altogether. So always have the mindset that I know who I am. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to continue to do what I need to do, and have faith that all the actions that I'm taking, all of the education that I'm putting into myself is all going to pan out for the best.
Yep. And it usually does.
Yeah.
The only difference that makes a difference between you and a successful person is they worked harder than you. And they believed it, like, all the way. They believed
it, yes. You have to believe it 100%. Even when things don't even make sense. Seriously. What did they say? You got to be delusional? Sometimes you just got to be delusional.
Facts. So, to come to a conclusion, we didn't give y'all a lot of tidbits on what to do, and we say what number you said there's three things we can give y'all to harp on for y'all 2026. I think we was like, number one was find out who you are.
Yes.
Right.
Number two was rebranding your self-talk. Really talking positive. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Believing in who you are. Speaking life and love and light within you. And
then number three would be watching what you put into your
routines, having discipline.
I would say your ear gates, your eye gates. What are you watching? What are you hearing? And because I believe if you just worry about those three things, finding out who you are and what you do, rebranding yourself, and what would you say? You say what? Like
rebranding self-talk.
Yeah, to tell your self-talk. How you view yourself. So it's like, number one, who are you? Number two, how do you view yourself? Are you important? Do you believe that? Do you actually believe that these are the things that you're going to do? Like, I'm going to be disciplined. I am disciplined.
Yes.
You feel me? And then also, staying consistent to what you're watching.
Right.
Because you should watch some disciplined people. If you want to be disciplined, you want to be disciplined. then you be like, I am disciplined, and then you watch people that are disciplined, and they also help give you steps on how to stay disciplined.
And then also ask yourself, I am disciplined because I XYZ. Establish how you are disciplined so that you can check it off like, I'm actually disciplined and this is how I am.
Right.
And then lastly, having faith in the branding that you're doing is actually going to show up and show out for who you are becoming, because you will be that person 2026, because you are taking the needed steps. You believe in yourself. You're having gratitude and you're thankful for everything in your life that's shaping and molding you for that next door, that next opportunity to open and reveal itself right in front of your eyes.
Facts.
So as we close it out, we want to have an action item, because we want you to do the work when you watch our podcast. We want you to grow and take this information and to apply it to your life. So the action question for today is, what are 3 affirmations you're committed to speaking over yourself daily for 2026? I want you to think about it. I want you to write it down and leave them in the comments, because we are going to be speaking life over everybody. This is all of our years, 2026, and we want it to be the best year for everybody.
I do.
It will be.
It will be. Because I know y'all watched my last podcast. I got some things I got to crack down on, because I know I can do these. I'm going into 2026 already thinking that this is who I am. I'm not a drinker. I don't even eat sweets. Mm-hmm. That's how you got to think. That's how you got to move. So think that same way.
Yes. So we would love to hear how you're going to be rebranding yourself 2026. We know that you got everything that it takes to live your best life. And if you resonated with anything that we stated today, make sure you like our podcast, you subscribe, you check out our previous episodes, you follow us on Instagram. We love to talk to you guys, and we can't wait to hear from you. Other than that, until next time.
Take Flight Podcast.
Peace.